What's up guys, Jeff from Sorta Healthy here. In today's video, we'll be breaking down the Pocket Prep application. We'll also be kicking off a new series on this channel where I review different apps or products designed for trainers and then give them a grade on the new and appropriately titled tier list, Best Apps for Personal Trainers. Where will Pocket Prep rank on this list? Well, of course, we'll be covering that very soon. We'll also be breaking down who should and shouldn't purchase this app, which option I think makes the most sense to buy, and how to use the app most effectively to pass your exam if you do download it. If you're preparing for a major personal trainer exam from ACE, ACSM, NASM, the NSCA, or ISSA, you're in the right spot. I'm the guy who helps you pass that silly thing. It's my job, and I take it damn seriously. Before I start sharing my favorite and least favorite things about Pocket Prep, please consider liking this video and subscribing to the channel if you haven't done so already. Both of those things help this channel to grow, and this channel is a free resource for all fitness professionals. Thank you so much for that support, guys. On to the video. So let me pick all of your brains real quick. Have you used Pocket Prep before, and if so, how helpful do you think it is? Let me know your thoughts on the app down below in the comments. Anyways, long before I ever dreamed of running a fitness studio or YouTube channel, I was a scared exercise enthusiast trying to become a trainer like many of you watching. It's pretty cool to see all this come full circle many years later as I review this app on here. Okay, so my first pro or thing that I like about Pocket Prep is that it's affordable. You know how ACE, NASM, pretty much all these different certification companies try to upsell you into purchasing a more expensive version of their course? In that often far more expensive version, what do they actually offer? Well, usually a hardcover copy of the book, a few other extras, and maybe some more practice exams or something along those lines. Paying way more, sometimes close to double for these minuscule offerings has always seemed crazy to me. I have free guides here on YouTube that have helped thousands of trainers to pass, and Pocket Prep, something that's helped an insane number of trainers to get past that exam and get started, that's only $11 to $21 a month. That's for 1,000 questions that you can easily access on your phone whenever you want. Which, yeah, that seems way better to me compared to spending this kind of money on a few extra practice tests and an audiobook or something similar. You really think you're going to listen to that audiobook or open that hardcover copy of the text again after you pass? No, of course you won't. You'll be too busy actually working. Anyways, at these prices, Pocket Prep is a way better deal than something like this. If you're getting ready for a trainer exam, this is my recommended option. 3 months for $16.99 a month is going to give you plenty of time to get the most out of this app. My first dislike of the Pocket Prep app is that it's really useful for some training exams and only kind of useful for others. I've spent a good amount of time using Pocket Prep to prepare for all of the following trainer exams that you're seeing on your screen right now. I've played around with Pocket Prep with a few other courses as well, but for each of these, I've put in a ton of hours on this app. I do that because spending time on Pocket Prep helps me to learn the material, and in turn, that helps me to make better content for all of you. What I have noticed though in looking at this list is, well, like we said, Pocket Prep is better for some exams than others. If a 10 out of 10 means you can just use Pocket Prep by itself to pass your trainer exam and a 1 out of 10 means it isn't helpful at all, this is where I would score it for each of these exams. For the NASM CPT exam, Pocket Prep gets a 9 out of 10. It's incredibly helpful for reviewing everything. You wouldn't want to just use this app to pass the test, but I know it's probably possible to do so. For the ACE CPT exam, it gets an 8 out of 10. 2 years ago, I would have given this a 6 or 6.5 out of 10, but Pocket Prep has really improved things since then. Make no mistake, this app is now really helpful for passing this ACE exam. I just feel like ACE has a lot of really random questions that are tough to predict, maybe even for the folks over at Pocket Prep. Again, this is still a useful tool for this test. These ACE questions are kinda weird and unpredictable though. For the ACSM and NSCA exams, I'm gonna give Pocket Prep an 8.5 out of 10. This app is super helpful for reviewing for both of these two, and thank God, because the ACSM and NSCA courses aren't good. Therefore, Pocket Prep becomes extra useful in preparation for these two. Then for the ISSA CPT and the NASM CES courses, I'd give it a 7.5 for both of those. It's still helpful for learning and reviewing the material here, but both of these are open book or non-proctored certification courses or exams. Is it worth purchasing something to pass an open book or non-proctored exam? It definitely could be, but to me it's a little more valuable in these other studying scenarios. My next pro of Pocket Prep is that it's convenient. I'm not going to talk about this one too much because, duh, apps on your phone are pretty much always convenient. And yeah, I don't want to beat a dead horse, but why are you going to pay all this extra money just to be tethered to a hardcover book and a few extra practice tests that you'll most likely have to take on a laptop? That's pretty annoying if you ask me. I've used Pocket Prep in so many different locations. I used it a ton on a vacation last year, and I'm planning to do that again this February on a cruise, as as I prepare to make an NSCA study guide for all of you. The main two spots I use this app though are on my couch hanging with my dogs while having the TV on in the background, or on my treadmill. Gotta get those 10,000 steps in, you guys know how it is. My next dislike of the Pocket Prep app is that it's missing a few exams. I'd really like to see some of the NCSF exams on Pocket Prep, especially for their CPT course, which is underrated. NESTA and NFPT being on here too would make some sense. I know these courses aren't as popular, but still it would be helpful for the trainers preparing for those tests. I think even PN Level 1 and FMS Level 1 could be on here, as reviewing both of them could be helpful for learning that material. Anyways, this is a minor gripe. Most of the important exams are here, so you'll most likely be covered. My last like or pro of the Pocket Prep application is that, well, for lack of a better way to put it, it's useful as Most courses or applications in our trainer world come with a number of drawbacks. You need a certification from a reputable company to get hired as a trainer pretty much anywhere, and also to get trainer insurance if you choose to work for yourself as well. Unfortunately, as many of you know, each one of these certifications comes with its own set of pros and cons. The same thing goes for coaching apps like Trainerize and Everfit. There are some good and bad things about these sorts of applications. I've already talked about this in some previous videos, and I'll be covering more of these sorts of apps in future videos. Pocket Prep or Fitness Prep, whatever you want to call it, may be the first app specifically designed for trainers that is easy to use, cheap, and very effective. At the end of the day, that's pretty much all you can ask for when it comes to something like this, and that's why I say it's useful as In my review videos, I always try to give you 3 pros and 3 cons, but in this case I have 3 pros, 2 cons, and then really more of a reminder. I guess you can call it a con if you really want, but it's not. Anyways, Pocket Prep isn't the end-all be-all when it comes to studying for your trainer exam. I want to make it clear that there is no silver bullet or ultimate solution in that category. Yes, some of you watching can cut some corners, do the bare minimum, and still probably pass your trainer exam. Most of you won't be able to get away with that though. The majority of you will need to put in a good amount of studying time to pass. We're talking 3 to 6 months of consistent work. And you really do want to be sure you're going to pass that first time, because retaking these things isn't fun. This is where Pocket Prep shines. Even though it's not a silver bullet, it's a very affordable and convenient tool that will help you do exactly what you need to. Pass that damn exam. Now let's say you're going to buy Pocket Prep, or maybe you've already purchased it. What's the best way to use it? Well, before you even open the app, you should do a few things. Skim the textbook, take light notes, do extra coursework if it's available, but do not pay extra for any coursework. I just happen to have NASM and ACSM textbooks on me. Typically these things are only worth skimming. I guess ACSM and NSCA do require you to pay a little more attention to the textbooks because their courses are so outdated, so keep that in mind. NASM, ACE, and ISSA all have decent courses with quizzes, practice tests, etc., so use those to review. Next, you want to check to see if there's any free videos covering the material. I have free guides for NASM, ACE, and ACSM. NSCA will be out in early 2025. After reviewing all of that, that's where Pocket Prep really comes in handy. To get the most out of using this app, you have to know the material at least somewhat well, and that's why step 1 and 2 come before this one. The best way to use Pocket Prep is to do the question of the day every single day, and then do at least 5 10-question quizzes after that. You should be doing both of those 2 things every single day, leading up to that big test for at least 1 month. Again, I think 3 months is better, but 1 can work. When you get a question wrong on there, and believe me, you will, review why you got it wrong and understand why the correct answer is actually correct. The certification company won't give you the same question as Pocket Prep, but if you do enough quizzes, you'll understand the material well enough so that it won't matter. Once you've done a bunch of quizzes, I'm talking hundreds of questions worth, go to this missed question quiz section. Go over every question you got wrong and figure out what the correct answer actually is. Also, if there's a domain or area of study where you're struggling in particular, go review that in the textbook or on YouTube or both. If you repeat this process over a month or hopefully a few months every day, you really will know the course material way better by the time you get to the actual test. I don't want to hear any excuses as to why you can't get that done. You can use this app anywhere. You know you're going to be chilling on your phone, so at least do something productive on there for a little while each day. Step 4, or the last step here, is to consider buying a paid guide if you need more help. I have one for NASM and one for ACE. They're both helpful for extra review. I'll have some for ACSM and the NSCA soon too. There's other more expensive options for guides out there as well. Of course, I'm biased. I think ours is the best deal, channel, but do what's best for you. One last thing to do before shutting this video down, and that is to rank Pocket Prep on the new best apps for trainers tier list. Overall, I think Pocket Prep deserves to be at an A- here, so we're kicking this list off strong. As we've established, this app is affordable, convenient, and it works. I think that sums it up well. I'd give it an A, but I think it's just a little better for some tests compared to others. So who should purchase this app? Well, pretty much anyone studying for a proctored CPT exam. It's almost always going to be worth it. I do want to thank Pocket Prep for sponsoring this video and a few previous ones too. That was very kind of them. I probably don't need to say it, but I will. Their support had no effect on this score whatsoever. I've actually been offered deals like this before from other companies, but just turned them down because I didn't believe in their products. When Pocket Prep reached out, I was like, yeah, I'll cover you guys because your app is actually good and I've been using it for years. It helped me get started. To wrap this video up, that scared to take his test fitness guy still exists somewhere in here. I know how most of you are feeling leading up to that big exam, and I'm happy that maybe I'm introducing you to something that actually helps. If any of you have any questions or comments about anything we discussed today, please leave those down below in the comments section. I will respond to you. If you're studying for a trainer exam, keep working hard and stay consistent. You will pass if you follow these steps. If you feel that Pocket Prep is a good fit for you, sign up using our link below in the comments or video description. Using our link helps to support this channel at no extra cost to you. Before you leave, please consider liking this video and subscribing to the channel if you haven't done so already, because both of those things do help to support us, and that allows me to make more free content for all of you. Thanks for watching, everyone, and until next time, stay sorta healthy.